What's going on, y'all? Look, and this video is about to go down. I'm about to make it make sense for so many of y'all, all right? I'm about to show you guys how to actually fix your credit up, because I know a lot of y'all probably working with somebody and not getting no results. You keep on getting declined for credit cards. You keep on being told you need a cosigner. They keep on saying you need tax returns. You don't know where to start, and you just trying to go ahead and stop using your own money to turn up with your business. You want to go ahead and leverage bank money like the Amexes, the Chase, the Wells Fargo's. I got you. They start with getting your credit fixed. So I'm gonna show y'all one of the 6 ways on how you can actually repair your own credit. All right. So that's gonna be really dope. Then I'm gonna show you guys how to go ahead and structure up this credit profile so you can become the ideal client for banks. That's really, really important that we walk in like we talk it when we go inside of these banks. Now I'm gonna show you guys how to actually find the banks that's giving us the max funds, right? Which is absolutely important when we're not trying to get a little $300 cards or $500 cards. We need the max wins, all right? And then lastly, we gotta make sure that paperwork is right. We gotta make sure that these LLCs is intact, that they ready to actually help you get the funds so that you can run that play over and over again. And I'm honestly surprised that I'm actually doing this, okay? This is something that I held dear to my heart. I'll just be helping my clients do it. But I've been getting so many people that reached out to me and they keep asking me, Corey, how was you able to go ahead and run a play so fast? How you went from a $300 card to well over 300,000? And it's because I implemented this same system that I'm talking to y'all right now to help me get cards like Amex. And yes, these are real cards. Yes, this is a real stack. I'm really living this life, okay? I want y'all to understand that. So what I want y'all to know is if you are an entrepreneur right now, you want to go ahead and take as many notes as possible, and you want to stay to the end of this video because I got some crazy game for y'all that you don't want to miss out on. All right, and my name is Corey Haggy. If you guys don't know me, I'm 28 years young. I'm a serial entrepreneur based out of New Jersey, okay? And what I do is I help people actually start their businesses, grow, get funds for them. I started entrepreneurship back in 2019. I was running an online network marketing company, made well over 6 figures, but I was using my own money to actually do this. So when I started to understand that I wanted to stop using my capital and save that for my reserves and to pay my bills and use this bank money, that's when stuff changed for me, right? I started learning how to go and get this capital back in 2021, and it was probably one of the best years of my life. I'm talking about from learning this game, Airbnbs came, cars on Turo, got BMWs in my business name, got a whole $1 million real estate portfolio. I'm standing inside of one of my units right now. These is a real house. I'm renting them out to tenants right now with Section 8. So if I can understand this game and learn how to do it, I know you could as well. Just like somebody like Emmanuel, one of my mentees, he came to me. I got him well over 50,000 to go ahead and start up his clothing brand. And then I got my guy Austin. He came to me. I got him $95,000, y'all, in just a matter of 2 weeks, so he can get into his real estate business as well too. So I want to go ahead and break all this down. We about to go ahead and hop into the lesson. So come on, let's go. So what's up, y'all? So I'm about to break down to you guys everything that I told you I would. All right. And it's 4 simple steps, but they're really, really important. So, we're going to go through these. I'm going to give y'all some understanding, some concepts of why I'm saying these things. And it's time to execute. So step 1, all the time, every time I start this, I always tell people that we got to start up with what's going on with this credit profile. All right. That's going to be your bread and butter. That's the motion. Okay. I wasn't able to go ahead and scale without it. Right. A lot of other entrepreneurs that you see, this is how they're scaling. Right. We're leveraging other people's money. We're leveraging bank money. So the first thing that y'all want to do inside of the bio of this video, right, I have my link to my smart credit platform. This is going to allow y'all to get y'all tri-merge credit reports for just 19 bucks, okay? That's really, really cheap inside this industry, all right? So you want to grab your reports, a tri-merge report that you can literally sit side by side and look at what's going on with your credit profile. We about to go over how to even look at your credit profile to see what's wrong, how we read this thing. So when you go ahead and do it, you understand what you're looking at as well too. All right. So step 1 is grabbing your credit reports. Okay. So I'm about to show you how this actually looks like really, really fast. 1 second. All right, I'm about to show you what this looks like. You come inside here, it's going to look just like this. All right. It's going to look just like this. So this is a newer client. Somebody just tapped in with the Rich Off the Credit program. Okay. So I want to show you guys how you do it. So when you come in here, you're going to click these 3 lines right here. It's going to say reports and scores. After you press on that reports and scores, you're going to see all 3 of your scores are going to look just like this. All right. and you want to go ahead and click on where it says switch to smart view. So when I come into a profile and we can see that this credit profile needs work, and this 9 times out of 10 with somebody else's credit profile, what your credit profile is going to look like, all right, or a little bit better, okay. But I'm not really worried about the score, y'all. I'm really worried about the profile. And the first things that we want to do is we want to take a look at these addresses that's on y'all credit profiles, okay. I want y'all to know that not a lot of the accounts that's on y'all files, if somebody been disputing y'all credit profile for you, or if you've been trying to do it yourself and you've been having a hard time to get deletions, is because these addresses that are still on your credit profile, they actually connected to those negative accounts. So what's happening is you sending in letters, okay, and all they doing is they looking at your dispute and they connecting, well, this Amex account, this Capital One account, this the address that's on his or her account. Oh, no, there's a connection. You apply for it. So all we want to do, the first thing we want to do, okay, we want to go ahead and make sure that we are getting these addresses, old names, misspelled names, old employers. We just want to clean up all of our personal information, and we just want to leave one address, one spelled correct name that you want, all right, and one employer. That's it, all right. Everything else, we could go and remove that. And how do you do that? You can either send in a letter and simply state, I'll actually put a template in here for y'all, that you could go to update your personal information, and you just want them to delete everything else. Just keep this name, this number, this address. That's my only address. That's called a personal information update letter, right? Or update request. You can send that in there, or you could go ahead and give them a phone call as well. I know Experian, if you log into the app, they'll let you go ahead and do that inside their dispute center. Equifax will let you do it inside their dispute center. TransUnion, they'll let you do it inside their dispute center as well. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and clean up those addresses. All right. Now, before we go ahead and get any further, we also want to go ahead and suppress and freeze, the big brothers. Okay. So I'll give you an example of one right here. I'll drop the link for this LexisNexis inside the bio as well, so that you guys can get it. But as you see, this is the website, consumer.risk.lexisnexis.com/freeze. So what we want to do is we want to freeze LexisNexis. We want to freeze ARS, CoreLogics, right? Basically the big brothers, okay? Why? Remember, everything is about verifying information. You are innocent until proven guilty. I'm sure y'all heard about that. So the credit bureaus, all that they doing, when you submit disputes, they just going to check your profile, see if they can verify with addresses, or they going to these people who house data, and they just verifying your information or verifying these accounts using LexisNexis, CoreLogic, LCI, ARS, all of these people. Okay, so you just want to freeze these secondary credit bureaus so that make your dispute process a lot easier. All right, so now, after we go ahead and freeze those people, we take care of the address. Basically, what you're doing, what that's called, is you're prepping a report. Prepping a report, okay? So you just cleaned your addresses, names, you done froze the secondary bureaus. All right. Now it's time to start to attack these negative accounts on your profile. All right. And we're going to do that. I'm going to give y'all this one where we're going to be using consumer laws to actually attack these negative accounts on a profile. But I want to show you guys how to read a credit profile right now, right? Because a lot of you guys are going to see your profiles for the first time and not understand what's going on. So all of you guys are going to have a summary section on Smart Credit. Inside of that summary section, they're going to let you know the total amount of accounts that you have, okay? The amount of open accounts that are still open, and how many closed accounts do you have, all right? So if I'm looking at this profile, if you're looking at your profile, I'm actually happy that this person has this amount of accounts. That's actually good. When we're trying to go in and get funding, like I'm telling y'all why y'all here today, it's about the more accounts on your profile, the better. We want our profiles to be thick, right? What's thick? I mean, over 8+ accounts. We don't want thin credit profiles. Why? When somebody trying to lend you money, they want to see that you was able to borrow money from somebody and pay it back. And how many times were you able to do that? Do you have a good track record? So the more the accounts, the more the history on there, the more the on-time payments, y'all, that stuff all means a great deal. And you building up age on there. You're able to get bigger credit cards and lines of credit or loans, right? Approvals for houses. So the more accounts on your credit profile that are good, strong accounts, the better. Okay. Open accounts. These are accounts that are reporting payments to your credit profile right now. All right. Pretty simple. Closed accounts, right? These could be negative or positive accounts, right? Give you an example of negative account. I mean, if I lend you $1,000 and you don't pay me back, that is a negative closed account. A positive closed account would be I lend you an auto loan for $10,000. You pay back this auto loan on time, and now the loan is done. All right. The loan had no more payments on it. That is a positive closed account. So it's okay to have closed accounts and positive closed accounts on your file. You did exactly what you would need it to do. Only thing you'll be losing at that point is the age that it comes with, because now the account is closed. All right. But that's the whole account situation. Now, delinquent, you're going to see this, right? I want y'all to take a look at this account history. When you're dealing with a delinquent account, y'all, these are accounts that are late anywhere between 90 and 150 days. All right. So a delinquent account means that you have an account right now that you're seriously late on. And I don't care if you pay the balance down to zero, that's not going to fix this issue. All right. You paying any collection is not going to fix the issue. Right. We got to actually remove these accounts from the file. Right. They got to go through the credit repair process. We got to get these things off the file. Okay. You're going to save thousands of dollars not paying collections or paying cards that got a lot of lates thinking that you're going to fix it. You just are now fulfilling the balance. That's about it. So these delinquent accounts, they got to go. Derogatory accounts, these are collections, right? These are things that already went past his 150 days late. Now they're either in repossession stage, foreclosure on the house stage, or they charged off credit card, or you got a collection on your profile right now, all right? From like a Verizon or Progressive or so. So as we can see, 2 collections on TransUnion, 1 collection on Experian, 1 of them on Equifax. So this stuff all got to go. We got the balances. So this is about the debt that you owe. All right. You got the payments, how much you paying on average every single month towards this debt. Public records. This is child support in bankruptcies, chapter 7, 13, all of those things. That's going to be in that public records section. You see that there's none there. And then lastly, we got the inquiries. So this every time you apply for a credit card, every time you apply for a house, every time you apply for a loan, you run your credit, they will give you a hard inquiry. By you guys pulling your credit profile to look at it today, this was not a hard inquiry. You have nothing to worry about. But when you go apply for something, you filling out an application, and they need to run your credit profile, that is a hard inquiry. And we want to keep these hard inquiries below the limit of 4 when it's time to get funded. So we can see the TransUnion is good. The Experian, is at the limit. So we actually need to remove some inquiries off of Experian if we can. Equifax has 3. All right. So this is how we read a credit profile. We're seeing what's going on with the summary section. And as we scroll down, you're going to see we got the real estate accounts. Okay, we can see that this one got some lates. And if this is how yours look as well, too, if you see any accounts that look just like this, y'all, this whole account needs to be removed. Okay, there's no going back from this. Like this stuff got to go. Okay, there's no paying a balance down to zero and then thinking that these late payments are going to be removed. No, this entire reporting of this account has to be removed from your credit profile. And look at this, another example, right? Anytime you see 2 or more lates on your file with a single account, we know that account got to go. All right. So now we got Capital One cards. We seeing the Capital One cards. We go through this file and we see what's going on, right? Charge-offs, Discovery Bank, that got to go. Right, you see this black stuff. If your file look like that, it has to go. You see reds in there. Those are delinquent accounts. Those have to be deleted from your file. All right, late payments there. Got a late payment in there. Late payment. So entrepreneurs, business owners, if you dealing with this type of stuff on your credit profile, right, it's about understanding what's going on. Right, we gotta get better every day because your credit profile is seriously important for you. Because after you make your first M, or you make your first, $500K or 400, you're going to want to get a house. You ain't going to want to be in a little apartment no more. Maybe you trying to move out of mom's house. You got to get a crib that you going to need to finance it. You got to get this stuff ready for down in the life anyway, right? You about to raise a family. You got to get this stuff better anyway, okay? So now that leads me to, all right, Corey, you showing me, what's going on with this credit profile. What ways can we get these things off? I'm tired of dealing with it. All right, I'm gonna give you all this. I'm gonna give you all this letter template as well too. All right, but we're gonna use this law. It's called permissible purpose. Okay, it's consumer law, permissible purpose. So 1681B is called permissible purpose. All right, and basically this law states that you have not given the credit bureaus, whether it's TransUnion, Experian, or Equifax, you have not given them written instructions that provided them the permission to actually report accounts to your credit profile. And since you did not give them written instructions to do it, it's considered fraud, right? So the accounts need to come off the credit profile, right? It's a really, really powerful tool that you guys can use, all right? So how does this work? What you're going to do is you're going to come to your smart credit. Okay, that's why you need this. You're going to come to your smart credit and you're going to write down all of the negative accounts that were delinquent or derogatory on TransUnion, all of the negative accounts that were on Experian, all of the negative accounts that was on Equifax. Once you guys go ahead and get the negative accounts that you have across all three of your credit bureaus, you want to then just go ahead and duplicate this letter 3 times. Put all the negative accounts with the TransUnions on one TransUnion letter. Same thing for one Experian letter. Same thing for one Equifax letter. Okay? Now you have all your accounts. You got your 3 different letters. And now it's time to go ahead and add in your supplemental information. So your supporting docs. So now these are the supporting docs that you need for every single letter that you guys send in. All right. If you don't send it in, what you're going to do, what you're going to get is a letter to your house saying that they can't verify who you is. They're going to give you a stall letter. They're going to tell you that they don't think that you sent it out and that it was somebody else, right? So we just want to make sure that we have all the supporting documentation that we possibly can and that we possibly have so that they could just start to go and process our letters, all right? So what that looks like is having your ID or passport attached to this, having your social attached to this, having a utility bill from at least the last 90 days attached to this letter, all right? So a utility bill could be water bill, a phone bill, car insurance, bank statements, right? Vehicle registration. Anything that has, your address on there. These are your 2-3 forms of identification. So they can't say that they don't know who you are, all right? And for anybody who just recently moved, maybe you live in Texas now, but you just moved from Florida, okay? Even if your ID is still having the Florida address or you don't have an updated address on there, but you got that proof of address, that's okay. You could still use the Florida ID with the new Texas Wi-Fi bill, all right, with your social, and you'll be fine, okay? That's why I tell you guys to give as much supporting documents as possible when it comes to your identification so that they can't say that this is not what it is. But you also have updated your profile when you sent in that proof of information request, right? When you updated your personal information, okay, which I told you how to do before we even sent this letter out. So that's how all of this stuff is going to go ahead and make sense for you. That leads us to step 2, right? You cleaned up your credit profile, all right? Your business, you cash flow. Now it's time to go ahead and help you become the ideal client to actually get the bread, all right? To get your bag, right? This is the structure. Okay, so this is what a file should look like before you go ahead and get funding. All right, you got to understand when you're fixing your credit is, you're extracting accounts off your file, y'all. You're taking things away. But then now you got to understand the stuff that you take away that's negative, you got to go ahead and build your foundation back up, build that structure back up, and put those good breath of fresh airs back on your file. Okay? So this is what we want to be looking like. We don't want to have no lates on our credit profile at all, right? I mean, this is 35% of your credit profile. This is the biggest part of your credit profile. You can't afford to get any more late payments. You just finished dealing with that before you just fix your credit. So we can't have no late payments. How we not going to have no late payments? We're going to make sure that we put these cards on auto pay, and we're going to also make sure that we understand when is the statement dates for these credit cards. Right? If you do these 2 things, you'll never have a late payment again. If you put your card on auto pay and you set up and you get organized, when's your statement date for your credit cards, you'll never be late again. You won't carry high usage because you are now more in control. I just need y'all to become more conscious with your credit, because if you are, you're going to be able to win. Okay? So we put the cards on auto pay so we don't get no late payment. We figure out when the statement date is so that we can fight usage. Okay? Because if I make a payment before the statement date, now it reflects to the credit profile and it shows my low usage on my file, shows that my on-time payment, I can't lose at that point. All right? Secondly, we want our age. This is important. We want the age of our credit profile to be over 4 years. Now, if you are taking things off the file that you probably had on your file for years, all right, I understand. You probably like, Corey, that's my oldest account, but I got deleted. I don't care, y'all. The late payment ain't worth it. You got to understand, you can always borrow, buy, or organically get your age back. What I mean by borrow, you got a family member who's older than you right now, or you a cousin that maybe has good credit. What you want to do is you want to tell them to put you on as an authorized user on a card. You're borrowing your family member's age, right? Or if you don't have a family member who understands about credit and you know they don't have the age or they got late payments and stuff, well, you could always go to a site like Tradeline Supply Co. and you could go ahead and buy some age. You could always buy age. All right. And if you can't afford to buy any age, well, you organically need to go ahead and rebuild yourself back up. How? You going the more accounts you open and they just sit there, they organically going to age over time, right? But we got to go ahead and get our age to over 4 years because I want y'all to understand something. You can have a 700 credit profile, but you have no age. I mean, 6 months age, 4 months age, and you will be declined for credit cards. You will get small cards. So we got to make sure that we are getting aged on our credit profiles as well too. All right. We can't have no collections on our files at all. That's a no-go. No collections at all. Right. If you can go ahead and not have a collection on your file, that's the way to do it. If you get a letter in the mail and they telling you that you owe, you want to go ahead and send them that letter that I sent you or send in a cease and desist letter and tell them that you don't need that on your file to stop reporting. Okay. But we can't get no more collections on our file. All right, we want to have less than 4 inquiries on our profile. Why? I know you want the money, and that's why you're here. Shoot, I want the money from the banks too, but I don't want to look thirsty to them, right? So after you get 4 inquiries on your file, you technically like a high risk profile, right? You know, you've been looking for money. They know you're looking for money, and they will decline you for it. They don't care how good your file is, right? So we want to have less than 4 inquiries on our credit profiles at all time. Okay. Over 8 accounts. Okay, remember I was talking about in the beginning, we want to have thick accounts, right? I don't want just 1 or 2 accounts on my file. People always ask me, Corey, why you got so many credit cards? Well, because it's building up age, I'm building up on time payments, but I'm also making my profile look very, very lit, look very, very ideal. Like the banks are loving what's going on. They seeing me handle a lot of different money, so they willing to give me more money. Okay. And if you don't have no accounts on your file, well, look, I'm giving y'all 2, 4, 6, 7 accounts right now. Right, we got 2 from Self. You can go right on Self, get 2 from there. They give you a loan account and a credit card account. Then you could go to a site like Rental Karma. They're gonna go ahead and report your rent payments, right, to your credit profile for the last 2 years, but give you up to 5 years of age. Okay, so Rental Karma is another way that you could go ahead and get accounts, but then they'll also give you that age. So that's a sleeper one right there. But I want y'all to tap into that one. Now we got Credit Strong. Credit Strong is going to do the same thing as Self. It's going to report a credit card to your file, okay? And then they'll also give you a big loan that reports to your file as well too. And then you could go Kickoff, right? Kickoff Lending. Kickoff just released a new $2,500 credit card that they report to your file. So that's good for you guys because I want y'all to know that when you add in credit cards and you see I don't have secure cards on it because most people only put $200 on a secure card. I want y'all to know when you add little limits to your file, other banks piggyback off of it. So if you do nothing but add all these bigger accounts to your file, the banks don't have no choice but to go ahead and match you or give you a little bit more than what you already proved that you can handle. So Kickoff is good for that because they give you a $2,500 revolving credit card account that reports to your file, and all you do is like pay $20, $25 a month. So Kickoff is absolutely lit. All right. And then we want to make sure that our usage on all these cards is below 10%. We got to make sure that the individual usage below these cards are 10%. I know everybody loves 30%, right? But I want y'all to know you can have 30% usage, okay? And you got 4 credit cards. And if one of them things is maxed out, I'm telling you that you are subject to get declined for the credit card that you're applying for because they'll tell you the revolving balances on one or more of your credit cards are too high. Well, all that fancy stuff means is that you got a credit card that's maxed out. So we can't give you funds because you good all these other places, but we see that you have maxed out somebody else's credit card. You could do that to us too. You got to think like the banks. Would you give somebody else money if you seen that they had maxed out somebody else's money? No, that's not how this works. That's not his work. So you do that, and the biggest one that I got is relationships. Right, as your credit is being repaired, as you fixing, as you doing this stuff, all right, you guys should be building relationships with different banks. And I know we're about to get into that, but you want to be building relationships with different banks. You want to be finding the banks to go ahead and build relationships with, right? You want to go ahead and open up a checkings and savings account. You want to go ahead and get the sticky products. What's the sticky products? Checkings account, direct deposit, a loan, a credit card. These are sticky products, secure loans. These are sticky products that make you want to keep on coming back to an institution. So y'all want to be really, really, really big on building relationships, I would say, with about 4 to 5 banks, right? 4 to 5 banks. That'll set you up. 4 to 5 banks. Let's go ahead and build relationships with 4 to 5 banks, y'all. Okay? So we're about to get into how we doing this, all right? So you fix your credit. All right, you got your smart credit. You sent in your letters. You got the deletions you wanted to. You build up your file. Now you're looking like the ideal client. Now it's time to go ahead and get what I call max funding, right? We want that max funding, okay? And people don't talk about this on the internet, and they may, but they don't emphasize it. And I've seen a bunch of success off of this, right? We want to go to the institutions that allow us to double dip, y'all. What do that mean, right? They pull my credit one time, but they'll give me access to 3, 4 different products at one time, right? So I could get a car, I could get a house, and I could get a credit card all for one pull. Or I could get a car, I could get a house, right? I could get a house, and I could get a line of credit all for one hard inquiry. All right. So this is where I want you guys to understand these banks are lit. They do this. All right, so I'll give you an example of a bank that does this, like Bank of America. All right, they'll pull your credit one time, but they'll give you 2 credit cards for within the span of a couple days. So it's really about finding the banks that do that. All right, and this is how you guys can go ahead and start to sequence out what's going on. So basically what I did over the past 2 years, I just been calling banks, randomly asking them these questions. Number one, where do you pull from? I want to know what you pull from, right? Which credit bureau do you pull from? What do I need to become a member? Okay. What credit score is needed? All right. And do you guys allow me to do you guys double dip? Do you guys have what's called synchronized signatures, meaning that I'm able to go ahead and pull my credit one time, but I'm able to get multiple amounts of funding. Okay. And once I understood that, y'all, this is what people not talking about on the internet. Once I understood how important that was, the game was over, because now I'm able to go to banks just like this, right? I'm able to go ahead and understand that, look, Bank of America is just going to pull my Experian. TransUnion is just going to pull my Navy. And Equifax is just going to pull my, and PenFed is just going to pull my Equifax. That's it. So now, cool, I could go to Bank of America, grab 2 products, go to Navy Federal, get, 2 credit cards from them, go to PenFed and get a loan and a line of credit. That's 6 different products. When I only got 1, 2, 3 hard pulls, and it's really scattered because they won across all 3. And all I did was remove the hard inquiries and run the play over and over and over again, right? So this is how you guys are going to be able to maximize your funding, business owners, entrepreneurs, people who want to get the bag so y'all can invest. This is how you guys are going to be able to do that. This is really, really important to understand. And this is how you guys are going to go ahead and run a play. So when it comes down to, who's going to be able to get the money, right? This is the big one, right? Because y'all want to do this stuff for y'all LLCs. But we got to make sure that all of this stuff is intact. Do you got a low risk name? I know you want to do trucking. I know you want to do real estate, sis. I know you want to do trucking, bro. Right? I know you want to do rental cars, but you cannot have that stuff in your name. That is going to be a red flag to these banks. Some banks don't even allow you guys to go and open up accounts with those type of industries.
So we need to have low risk names. An example of a low risk name is something like Solutions. All right. Like Run the Play Solutions. Run the Play, Haggy Solutions. That's a low risk name. Then you want to go and get your 1-800 number. You could go to a site like Google Voice, and you could go ahead and get, or Freedom Voice, and you could get your 1-800 number. You want to get you a business domain because you need a website and you need to get an email, but you need a business domain first. All right, so you could go to a site like GoDaddy and get your business domain. Okay. Then you're going to make a real business email. You're going to go to a site like Google Workspace. After you get your domain, and you guys are going to get you're going to get a real Gmail. So it's going to be, for example, info@runwithhaggy.com, right? That's a real business email, right? Not one of those runwithhaggy.com@gmail.com. No, that's not what we want. We want a real business email. And the only way you do that is by getting a domain first. Okay. Next, very important, business address, right? We need to make sure that we have a business address, not our home address. Number one, that's a safety hazard, right? Because I could just look up your business and find it on the internet and it's attached to your house. Now I know where you live at. And then also number two, we want to make sure our businesses are as professionally built out as possible, making sure that they look as if they were, doing business at a brick and mortar location. All right. Of course, we need our EINs. Of course, we need our articles, or they call it certificate of organization, same thing, right? You need those two things when you open up a business bank account, all right? So you got to file those. And then you want to list yourself with the 401. It's like the yellow book. Like when we all grew up, it was a yellow book. You got to list yourself with the 401s. But you have all of this stuff, this 4-step process that I'm giving y'all right now, that's going to lead you guys to getting the max wins, all right? This is the max wins, the max amount of funding. If you follow these steps I just gave you right here, right, with the credit repair, okay, building out the file, understanding your sequences, and having proper LLC formation, you guys are going to be able to run the play, right? You're going to be able to run the play. You're going to look just like this, right? It's honestly going to look just like this. You're going to look just like some of my testimonials from some of my students, right? People who've been able to go ahead and get their credit profiles over 700 to go ahead and get them the bag, okay? More wins. That led to getting funding. We're like my guy Miles. We see TD business accounts, American Express accounts, 756 score, usage below 30%. This is how we playing the game, y'all. This is the new Rich Off Credit program that I'm telling y'all that you can be a part of. Where I got my guy Austin. He came to me. He wanted to do real estate. I got him over $95,000 in less than 2 weeks, y'all. As y'all can see, 35K approvals right there. That's somebody's salary. And we did that in literally, maybe 5 minutes, and we did zero interest for 15 months. That's a great play. Another 10K approval over here, another 18K approval right here from Chase. These are real clients getting real results, y'all. This stuff is happening for people. All right. More apartments, right? Got students in here running the play. Okay. 20K approval, 758 scores. All right, bro. I don't know if I should start screaming right now. Yeah, because we changing people's lives. People coming into this Rich Off Credit program and they running the play. Okay, we getting real results. And if I could do it, you could do it. Over $1 million real estate portfolio in less than 6 months from just leveraging credit, y'all. Just literally leveraging credit. And it changed my life. When Teslas, like I told y'all, cars in the business name, Airbnbs, right? Everything. Okay, more testimonials, 10K in 24 hours, building people's credit profiles, and just honestly pouring into people. Right? Really pouring into people. All right. Teaching people like Cicely how to properly format their business and debt. Right? Understanding how to protect people with their businesses and helping them out with their LLCs. Teaching people, look, because the game is told, right? I'm giving y'all the game. You're going to be able to do that for other people as well, too. All right. These classes that we have, these are crazy. So
like I promised y'all in the beginning of the video, I do have a gift for you guys, right? It's going to help you get more approvals. It's going to help you be more strategic. It's going to help you actually get that funding that you're looking for inside of your business right now. Inside of my Rich Off Credit program is solely for entrepreneurs that's looking to go ahead and take their businesses to the next level. You just don't know how to get that capital. So what it's going to look like is me and you are going to go ahead and game plan. We're going to hop on an onboarding call. I'm going to look inside of your credit profile, look inside what's going on with your financials so I can understand what's happening. We're going to go ahead and take that information and also build up your credit profile, repair whatever we need to do to get you over a 700 credit profile so we can get you these funds, okay? Not only that, you're going to have course curriculum. You're going to be inside of a group chat where you can network with other entrepreneurs. We're going to have weekly calls as well too. And this is going to really help you go ahead and take off, right? Because I want to be hands-on with you with this system. So like I said, this program are for future business owners and entrepreneurs who you feel like you're in the right spot. You got things going on, but you just need that extra push. You just need to know how to go ahead and acquire these funds. I got you. This is the play, right? So if this is you, I want you to go ahead and book a call. All you got to do is book a call. My booking link is right down here, or you could go back to Instagram, wherever you found me, whatever social media platform. Just DM me and say, look, Corey, I'm ready to hop on the call, and me and you going to hop on. We're going to be on the Zoom. You're going to see me face to face, and I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what you need to go ahead and get done so you could be successful within 2024. And I'll be real, right? You got two options with this. So option one is you can save your time, energy, and money and come and get into a system where it's going to save you time, energy, and money, all right, without the headache, without wasting time, without still getting declined, without putting yourself in a position where you're doing something wrong, okay? And now you got to start all the way back over at ground zero, all right? So that's your first option. You could go ahead and try and do it yourself, right? You could do it yourself and you can mess up and all that stuff, right? Or you could come option two and tap in with a system that's in place so that you guys can actually go ahead and underplay the correct way, okay? I'm going to be real, right? Just being on YouTube and all of that stuff, it's not enough. You need to be able to ask questions. You need to be able to get advice. You need to be able to say, Corey, you know, what's going on? What's next, right? And that's where you booking a call and you getting inside this Rich Off Credit program is going to go ahead and help you out. It's really going to help you excel. And if you could do it one time for your business, you're going to understand that you could do it over and over and over again. Or, like I said, you could take this information. You can go ahead and keep on having these collections on your credit profile. You can keep on trying and be up late at night trying to figure it out by yourself and, you know, keep on searching these different pages and they give you all of this different information. And now it's like information overload for you and you be struggling still, right? So, you know, I obviously want you guys to come into this program and be successful. I obviously want everybody who tap in with me to actually win. So if that's you, like I said, go ahead and book this call right now. And I can't wait to see you guys on the welcome call, man. Let's go. It's your guy, Hacky, and I hope this information was successful.